Into another edition of Xfeed. My name is the Shiller. We brought to you the Pokemon cards we bought the other day. Just wanted to highlight. Listen, we got Snorlax on there. Remember when we used to collect NFTs for the art? Look at the art. Look at each individual characteristic here. We got a Blastoise, a Gyarados. You can think of these different characters within the show and remember a time when they were either a part of the movie, potentially something that you caught within a game, and it makes you think, do you really care about the newer style of things that are out? Because when you think of NFTs, well, everybody's doing these multiple collections when everybody is just in love with the base model. Okay, a lot of fascinating headlines across the space today. Let's jump straight into it. Futureverse here with another big one, saying honor to be featured in the Alibaba annual report. A partnership with Alibaba Cloud combines our AI music expertise with Alibaba's cloud capabilities to advance high-performance AI infrastructure and security standards. We're excited. Excited. What's going on? Yo, Harry, when are we doing some Pokemon Go raids, sir? Alibaba's cloud capabilities to advance high performance AI infrastructure and security standards. We're excited to share more on Gen Music AI soon. Okay, so if you're not familiar with this, basically Futureverse sounds like they're doing a whole heap and whack ton of a bunch of different things within the space, and one of those being AI generated music, but licensed and potentially partnered with some rather big names within the music industry. And they're partnering with Alibaba Cloud to help facilitate that, to bring it to the masses. So kind of crazy to see those sort of headlines. As soon as you're ready, hell yeah, brother. Boomer here with a tweet talking about Animoca, how they were down 77% from their last raise. Holy jeez, you think you're down bad when? Checking this through here, you can see the discount to last valuation 76.8%, basically the 77%. But before, the last valuation was at $6 billion for Animoca. When we were doing the streams, you can go back and look at the beginning of January, and we joked and talked about how anything Animoca was pumping, you needed to be into things that were Animoca related. Now, I don't know if that's exactly the case that it was. Apparently, tens of thousands of Floor Axie Infinities on the Ronin network have been purchased. If you haven't seen, there's been this big launch collaboration, I suppose, with Coinbase Learn, where it's a way for them to educate people on the Ronin network. We did talk about this yesterday, where you can end up getting like $55 worth of Ronin and 149,000 quests completed. 149,000. Unbelievable. Kid Arcade, howdy. Also, in Fire Badger, thank you for letting me know about the mic being a little bit low. I've turned that up. Hopefully this is not too loud for you guys. Let me know if it is. But 92,000 users participated in the campaign, or so far, I think it's still going. 15.8 thousand addresses have bought Axies for the first time, which is a huge number, and 35,000 new Ron stakers. It's an additional 20% Evo. What's going on? And it's just crazy to think of the impact, because we all sit here and we're, whatever collection we're in, we're like, okay, is there going to be a Binance or a Coinbase listing on the coin? Because if it is, it doesn't matter what else happens. Doesn't matter if the execution's terrible. Everything is just gonna fly, baby. You know what I mean? So it is kind of funny from that sense, because it did feel that from the Axie point of view, and I'm speaking specifically from somebody who's not super involved in the Ronin network. We had a really cool interview a while back with somebody who has, if you're wanting to learn more about that ecosystem. But I remember years ago, everybody was so excited about it, and then it felt like the saturation from breeding got really bad, but the fact that there's that many thousands that were getting swept, kind of crazy. And apparently it's like 76,000 in like a day after the Coinbase Learn launch. 212 ETH. Absolute insanity. And back to my Pokemon thing a second ago. Like, why does every NFT collection just launch the whole collection where everything looks the same? Right? Like Pokemon, everything looks totally different. In the NFT landscape, you get a hat. Half of them are the same hat. You have a different color of teeth, a different shirt. Like, holy jeez, we need to tone back on the 10,000 collections. Start with something smaller, please. Okay, So I got sent this, and I'm just confused. Introducing Walmart Realm, the first ever immersive commerce experience curated by creators and inspired by social trends. You've never experienced online shopping like this before. Find your thing in Walmart Realm at walmartrealm.com. Okay, let's see what it is.
My style is sleek, shiny designs that make a sophisticated statement.
Take a look around, shop our favorite vampy goth Western inspired makeup looks.
I'm so excited for you to explore, maybe get some inspiration and some amazing rewards.
That's my realm.
Okay, well, so that looks rather decent. I don't really have anything negative to say about it. I think that after yesterday's announcement with the IKEA and how they're going to have virtual workers within that, seeing this as well. Now, this was posted back on May 22nd, and I'm not seeing literally anybody talk about it across the timeline, but I mean, it's getting pushed. And as soon as these bigger brands just say, hey guys, here you go, well, we're chilling. Okay, so the timeline is always so interesting because everybody's giving their different pieces of advice and whatnot. And Mooncat2878 the other day was absolutely shilling everything about Wolf Game, saying this is great. And then we have a little bit of a pullback here. So this is an update on my Wolf Game thesis. This time it isn't a banger yet. I put in around 40 ETH and I'm down quite bad already. Reason, I expected the team to ship much faster, which sadly isn't the case. I mean, respectfully, have you seen the Web3 landscape and the time it takes to do things? Holy moly. I'm just going to hold and wait and hope they resolve things are a bit more faster on everything they do. The Blast Gold meta moves fast, so they don't really have the luxury to not ship it like today or tomorrow. Each day is a day lost and a day less to make the game and its assets stick and people buying into it. Again, Web3, hilarious. I like the gold in the free game, but that's obviously not what we invested in ourselves. I kept buying the dip, and in hindsight, most likely shouldn't have. I'm going to keep waiting and see what I do. Need like delegations as well with my assets. Okay, again, this is what I'm saying. Whenever you're on the timeline, people are just like absolutely shilling something, and then like a week later, if that doesn't work, like again, don't listen to other people. It's whatever you guys find out. DYOR, enjoy it, figure it out, become a maxi of whatever you find. Okay, so Crypto Kermit, this is the guy the other day, or girl, where we went over their long post where they incorporated Fluff World and a whole slew of other collections saying what the hell is going on. And now today, they're trying to talk about the greatest comeback story in NFT history of the Moris. Now, when was the last time that you guys heard about the Moris? This felt like a collection that I think got purchased by somebody else that was a different takeover on things. But I mean, I don't know. Do we have it where there's a whole new flux of people that really enjoy what's going on? Do we have, like, I'm just trying to wrap my head around why do people care about different things, right? Like when I talk about Futureverse, Fluff World, yada yada, why do you care, right? Why should you specifically care? And then we see the same thing across the space, and we're going to get into more topics about kind of like the maxi viewpoint, because I think everybody is, and if there's a way to attract people within that, that's going to be great, because it just feels like when everyone is using the exact same verbiage across the board, nothing feels that different. But if you're wanting something a little bit different, I talk about RWAs. Not necessarily me, but I get to talk to other people about it. And I actually got to interview Lucanet's, one of the most fascinating interviews that I've done. The guy really knows his stuff, and I thought that it was it gives you faith. I think that that's like the correct way of phrasing it, because this guy is like really trying. He's got the connections for things. Obviously, people have every kind of different perspectives on him, but talking with them, I thoroughly enjoyed it. So here's a quick clip from that. And again, the full episode link is in my bio on X or in the description down below on the RWA podcast link.
Ultimately, the collectible market is, I think, the one that's most ripe for disruption. And again, if there's no further innovation, that alone, I think, just shows huge growth potential for this. And at the end of the day, the world's becoming digitized. More and more people are spending more time on their phones and on their laptops. That's only going to increase over time. Do I think that digital, IP, incubation is here and it's ready to go? No. But I think 5 to 10 years from now, you won't be able to incubate IP on chain fast enough for the demand that will come.
And I feel like that's with the assumption as well that people are going to really fall in love with these different brands. Because we did like a whole session at the beginning of the stream yesterday talking about brands. And, when you go to a store, what gets you excited? Like, as an example, I had to go get gas. And the other day, I bought chocolate milk at this gas station. I don't know why. I haven't really drunk chocolate milk in months. And it's like looking at them and I was like, oh, that one looks good. And I was like, this is the greatest friggin' thing I've ever had in my life. And so I went back today and I was like, hey, you know what? Like, I like this brand. This is enjoyable. And then you jump on here and we scroll on the timeline and I'm like, okay, what do I see from any Web3 brand that brings me enjoyment or something that I care about? Everyone just talks about soon, soon, soon. Like, show me the TV shows. Listen, one thing that I will never understand is when Yuga, and I think it was Garga, talked about how they didn't do any film, movie, TV show things because there was people in the community that were working on that. What are we doing? That'd have been amazing to watch a show. Like, hopefully it was of like quality, right? Because if it wasn't, that'd have been a problem. But, apart from Pudgy Penguin gifts on the timeline, how often do you see something that you're like, yeah, okay, cool, I connect with? Unless it's like a trailer, and then of course trailers of kind of coming soon, et cetera, et cetera. But Bear Snake here highlighting the new Ranga website, which was a part of the thread yesterday of collections that somebody was asking, saying, what the hell's going on with it? Again, the art style does look really, really cool with this, but this says about, black box, gallery, CC store. This is all coming soon. Again, yes, Kid Arcade, back to soon. You want to get excited about things. Okay, the site looks cool, but you can't click on any of it. Unbelievable. Apparently, there was a Counter-Strike NFT skin that sold for $1 million. This is a day after we saw the likes of a Michael Jordan card go for what, like 2.3 million or whatever it is. People are apparently buying collectibles again. So Coinbase having a smart wallet here, and this is their video, and I'm kind of confused because they're saying this is how we onboard the next billion people. Basically, they're saying that there's going to be no more seed phrases, but there is going to be these thing called passkeys. They don't explain what that is, but they're saying that it's simplified transactions and gas fees, and it's a part of Coinbase. And I'm like, okay, so these are just like a quicker way to install, create a wallet. It looked like it had the phone face verification at the beginning of it. So it's just you show your face and you're good to go with it. It's like, I just wish there was a little bit more detail on the video itself. I get there's like quick trailers and it's all about branding, but I wish there was just a little bit more for that. Apparently, something's going on in the Cardano Foundation. We are delighted to announce a new partnership with Argentina, or in Argentina, I should say. Following a public signing between some names that I'm not going to try to pronounce, the Cardano Foundation is collaborating with Entre Rios State to further blockchain adoption. Right. We got people out here that are trying to bring blockchain adoption every single day. And it's weird because when I go, right, and we buy one of these cards, I don't think, yeah, I care about the blockchain or anything like that. I just care about the brand and the experience. But then when I go out and I'm trying to go on the secondary market to buy these things, and it's just a pain to figure out the verification, who you can trust and whatnot. And I'm like, damn, this system really hasn't gotten that much better, except for, like stores if you trust. But I don't know. I think that there's still a huge amount of disruption for tokenizing things and just making things simpler. That's the idea. Things are simpler. The firefighters are bullish on ADA. That's an unbelievable statement, Atari. Unbelievable. Now, this might be unbelievable for some of you too. Van Eck saying, we've raised our 2023 Ethereum price target to $22,000. Oh my God. So if you buy ETH right now, I think it's just under 4K. And so if going up to 22K in a couple of years, yeesh, that's kind of crazy. Influenced by Ether ETF news, scaling progress, and a read of on-chain data. Additionally, we've analyzed how ETH and BTC perform in traditional and crypto-only portfolios for optimal returns. And I'm just seeing everybody on the timeline starting to talk bullish again. Remember when everybody was bearish a couple months ago? And then we had huge ups and then downs, and it was an emotional roller coaster. And that's just on the crypto side. When getting NFTs, it gets quite funky. Yo, Fluff Boy, GM. G Giles is saying, name me an NFT project that minted in the last 12 months that actually has promise, because I'm struggling. So that's a question. If you're here right now, try to think of an NFT project that minted in the last 12 months that actually has promise. I mean, I could be the maxi homer here and say, well, the Third Kingdom Prism Mint, right? That's an easy one. But I agree with this to an extent, because there was so much talk that people had saying that legacy projects are dead. It was just this battering. And when you look at the space as a whole, and some of you are like, okay, yeah, things have progressed, but like, how often are you interacting with different things other than the fact that you've bought in something within an ecosystem? Are you playing these different games? Are you excited about anything in particular? Has, the legacy and or newer stuff done kind of anything to really triple your faith in the space? I mean, if you're listening to other people, the entire timeline was saying the legacy stuff's dead, but I think it's always a matter of which ones you end up getting into. And you might have bought a Ronaldo one last year. Well, guess what? I guess you get to buy another one this year. Thread Guy highlighting a Ronaldo NFT on Binance. Forever worldwide, the road to Saudi Arabia celebrates my football journey with artwork created by artists in Portugal, Manchester, Madrid, Turin, and Saudi Arabia. So different NFT sale of sorts here. Ronaldo back at it again. We have celebrities doing meme coins, but Ronaldo staying true to the NFT space. Love to see it. Some news here from the Root Network, and it seems that I don't really know how to perceive this, because the tweet that Okay, so let me read the tweet from the Root Network. Thrilled to partner with @Token Relations and the brilliant minds Jacqueline Melanick and Anthony Pompliano to share all the latest news and updates on the Root Network. Stay tuned for more details. Okay, cool. So Anthony Pompliano, a lot of people are probably familiar with them. They're doing something directly with Root in terms of trying to bring updates, news, and stuff through their site, which I'm guessing is like a partnership that is like, they've hired teams to do this, because it's weird when you go to like the announcement that they quote tweeted, it says from Jacqueline, I'm so excited to share that after quitting TechCrunch as a senior crypto reporter, I'm launching Token Relations with Anthony Pompliano to help blockchains create better and more direct relationships with their communities, devs, holders, and more. Now, there's a little bit more in that, but then they say to start, we're partnering with 3 major blockchains as our launch partners, AVAX, Aptos, and Optimism. So when I read that Root partnered with them, I'm like, okay, well, why the hell is like Root not mentioned? But they're saying that they're partnering with 3 major blockchains. And then I'm like, okay, so these guys are trying to create something that helps with like relations and people staying up to date with the ecosystems and everything, but they're already working with a whole bunch of collections, and like this just came out on April 9th. And so I'm like, okay, like are they taking on too much? Because that's the thing we go to, right? In the Web3 space, we're like, okay, can we have like a collection or something that just focuses on a singular thing instead of trying to take over the world? But if the resources are there and, massive funding, all the things, very interesting. Maybe this is, an update to the Futureverse marketing department in a way. Okay, yesterday we had Magic Eden Wallet and Magic Eden that were trying to pump their bags, and then they just basically launched a mobile app, and that was it. Okay. We thought there was going to be points. We thought there was going to be alpha. They just had a mobile app that you can potentially use one of these codes to download. Son of a gun. Okay, back to the Maxi conversation here, and Fibaka. I have a wonderful conversation with Fibaka. If you're on the YouTube channel and you go over to like the video tab, shouldn't be that too far back. We talk about us minting apes. I've met him in real life a whole bunch of times at Ape Fest, et cetera, et cetera. But this is, part of me when I'm talking about like the Maxi thing, it's like when you see people that are like throwing out their opinions, you're like, damn, that person will like legitimately probably not buy anything else that's not related to the brand that they love, which is the NFT collection that they hold. Yo, John Lemon, what's going on? Magic Eden Gems still in the works? Apparently. I'm seeing all this talk about Magic Eden being the leading NFT marketplace, but I don't see people yapping about gems. I only see people talking about Blast Gold. Unbelievable. Okay, Fibaka with Yuga. I'm a Yuga maxi. Well, yes, but it's deeper than that. I've been told I'm too positive. I've been told I'm a bag holder. And again, you can kind of insert yourself within this, pretend whatever is your main collection. I'm a maxi, but we'll continue. The funny thing is, before Web3, I might have believed that I was what I like to say, realist. Looking back, I was just a pessimistic MFer. When I started in Web3, I truly tried to make an effort to attack it all with positivity in mind. It was and still is hard to take a look at things in a positive manner. I fail a bunch, but I'm working on it. Having struggled with negative thoughts about myself for a long time, negativity is a poison to me. It consumes me. That doesn't mean I don't reflect and think critically. It just means I'm going to focus on the positive side of things as best I can. There are so many things in life that are much deeper than Web3, so I won't be wasting my energy on FUD. I won't waste my energy on haters. I'm going to wake up every day with a grateful heart, even when it's hard as hell. Hell yeah, Fibaka. Rocking with the ape merch. But again, whenever we have people that are very focused on certain collections, everything kind of gets attacked. And we have the ability to kind of react saying, hey, these things seem right, these things seem wrong, and everybody can have their own opinion. But what's weird is when you start trying to like force your narratives on other people, because most people are already a max. So you'll find the occasional person that's open to change, willing to listen, etc., but just know you don't need to be aggressive about things. You can love what you love. You don't need to be going out there fighting with everybody else for the spotlight. You probably already talked about it, but I think I saw Blast Gold points dropping in 3 weeks. Yes. I think it was actually right before you jumped into chat, Atari. But yeah, so in 3 weeks, the token generating event is going to commence. And I think actually, hold on, am I a complete liar here? No. I am a liar. I'm sorry, Atari. We were about to get to it. News: Blast announces 3 weeks till TGE and deadline of June 25th for protocols to distribute their gold. So again, this is where we had a lot of people saying, Wolf Game's going to get like all these gold drops. People kind of highlighting different Blast ecosystems things. And we're getting really close to the utility for some of the collections that is, hey, you're getting basically free crypto potentially being gone. So do we see mass crashes in prices of things within the ecosystem? Is it going to be sustainable? Is it kind of like a one and done? Obviously, Blur still, I mean, I use Blur all the time. Like I use it mainly as like the search engine and whatnot for NFTs, but it does feel like a lot of collections are trying to create their own marketplaces, in the sense of if they have like an entire network where they're able to force royalties like within Root. But we've seen the ETH collective of massive collections also move over to Magic Eden and try to enforce royalties. So again, I don't know what the hell any of this stuff looks like, because I don't even know if Blast has a way to guarantee royalties. So if people are going to be building on there, what does that look like? If you want to hold for a long time, I still like BYC at these prices, but you got to be willing to wait. The other side seems like an easy buy as well. If you want to just wait, they got to make it work. That's the thing. Like, think of how much money is within it. And there was a post I saw earlier too, talking about how like the narrative of CryptoPunks has kind of died. And I mean, like, if you have a new person that comes into the space and they're like, hey, shill, I want to buy a CryptoPunk. Kind of like me being like, hey, I want to buy first edition Pokemon cards, right? Right? Well. Are they going to go back to history and say, oh, this card nobody ended up liking, this thing ended up being bad? Like, do they care about the things that were, if it just has the provenance, the value that it, holds? I don't know how much these narratives play a part, except for, I guess, the quote unquote short-term speculators. And back to the conversation with like the maxi talk, like, we have the ability to be like, okay, something that was said or done is egregious enough for me to now potentially dislike or sell certain NFTs that I hold in a certain collection. Everybody's got that. But again, not everybody is going to share that exact same mindset. Punk feels safer sub 30 ETH because there's no utility depending on them. Yeah, that's the other thing, where we've not really hit the utility meta. Yesterday, I think we highlighted like that Honeyland thing on Solana, where they've, they made like $100,000 of assets. I mean, Axie Infinity, if you think about the way that they've done with the breeding, And other collections trying to do that. I mean, Zedrun before, which MetaMask had an update, and I realized that I have like $58 of the Zedrun token. So we are absolutely gonna make it. But still a few more tabs here to go through. Will Web3 gaming bring Valhalla? Well, Austin saying probably not. As of 2024, the number of games available on different platforms are as follows. Steam, which is just a PC launcher of games. Steam hosts over 50,000 games. This figure includes both currently available games and pre-release titles. The platform continues to see thousands of new games added each year, with 9,103 new releases in 2023 alone. So just for these games that everybody's saying, oh yeah, we're getting into a massive run for gaming, you're competing with 9,103 new games. New games. Insanity. For the App Store on iOS, the App Store has approximately 449,490 games listed. This number has fluctuated due to policy changes and periodic removal of outdated or non-compliant apps. And Google Play Store. The Google Play Store also hosts a substantial number of games, though exact current figures can vary. As of the latest available data, the Play Store has around 670,000 games before a policy update caused a significant number of removals, and now they're at like just under 500,000. Look at how insane the gaming market is. How do you get attention? You have to have a good game. You have to have insane marketing. You're competing with all these other products. Now, the cool thing with Web3 is that it is kind of a completely new genre. It's had its ups and downs for sure. But have we seen mass hits within the Web3 gaming space lately? Not necessarily. But that could definitely shake things up. Yo, Atari, you'll be on the live space with this guy Austin tonight? Hell yeah. Yo, have you been I was going to say hooking up with all the doodles, but that might come out the wrong way, if you know what I mean. But either way, I'll shill the shiller that you talked about this. Hell yeah, brother. Yeah, I mean, potentially, I got to see, because normally we end up playing like League as a group a little bit later. I don't know if Xander or Juice are here, but if I'm not leaguing, DM me the space if you want, and I'll give it a save, and I'll try to come through and hit the toad what's going on. Okay, so Pranksy, can we do anything with our overworld play in Karna NFTs yet? It's been one of the most confusing projects to track. So I remember when Overworld came out, everybody on my timeline was shilling this like no tomorrow. It felt like there was the only quality mint that was coming out. Again, it's backed by Binance Labs. People were I didn't touch it, right? Like, as I've said from the beginning of the year, I've kind of just been like laid back chilling. And it's just interesting to see that, you know, every collection, no matter whether they minted before, recently, there is always problem. There is always problems. It's kind of crazy. But that's it for this edition of XFeed. Again, if you guys want to hear me talk about RWAs, we do have the RWA Segments podcast. If you check out the YouTube link or down in the X bio, we do have kind of a membership for YouTube. There's nothing like kind of beneficial to it per se, but it's $2.99. And then of course on Twitch, if you want to subscribe, if you happen to have an Amazon Prime, it is free to do so and helps me out just a wee little bit. Of course, we'll be back tomorrow. Atari God, yeah, I'll shoot you a link. And all good. Enjoy your League of Legends. Please tell Pranksy to unblock me. I don't know. I don't care about his Rocky Rugby on anymore. That's unbelievable. That is unbelievable. John Lemon, good sir. Thank you so much for coming through. Atari, Divine, Hitting the Toad, Fluff Boy, Ebo, Kid Arcade, and the one and only Harry Swan. When are we rating? We used like the Alakazam here. This is why people pay a lot of money to have like real sound effects instead of whatever the hell